On SportsCenter, it's not often a preseason game garners so much interest that LeBron James and Jamie Foxx tweet about it. But Browns fans were desperate for anything to be excited about, and they got something good in the quarterback competition. The preseason debut from Shedeur Sanders lived up to the hype, and it's our Take Two.
Who won the weekend, in your opinion, this weekend, Shefty?
Mel Kiper Jr.
Mel Kiper Jr.
I know it's only 1 week. It's a little early. We don't want to get too carried away. But who had a better weekend this weekend than Mel Kiper Jr.? I don't know if he was on the Chesapeake Bay or where he was in Baltimore eating crabs, but I do know that the one player that he touted all through the draft shined on Friday night.
There's somebody who is a Shedeur Sanders fan who believed that he got screwed over during draft day, or draft night rather, being a 144th pick, 5th round pick. To see him go out there and make some of those requisite throws and show flashes of the kind of potential that he has, I definitely think it was a good sign.
He's accurate, he has good arm strength, and it's a little bit like the NCAA tournament, Greeny. Survive in advance. He has earned the right for more reps going into next week.
He looked like comfort, in total control. He played really fast. He didn't panic. Okay, so those are all the things that you saw. Then his own words, he had that smirk on his face of, I felt like I had the answers to the test. That's what it looked like.
If this brother performs, and dare we say he ends up being the starter for the Cleveland Browns, he pulls this off, there's going to be a whole laundry list of teams that have to answer for passing up on him.
So here's the thing. The Browns' continued search at quarterback is nothing new this year. Since 1999, when Cleveland rejoined the NFL, they've used 40 different starting quarterbacks. That's the most in the NFL by quite a margin, with 10 more than the second closest team, which is the Bears. All right, NFL analyst Damian Woody is here to talk a little preseason week 1. So what is your reaction to Sanders and his performance on Friday?
I thought he was poised and I thought he was prepared. You know, you heard him in the post game talk about how he had the answers to the test. And when you watch him out there, nothing seemed big, nothing seemed too big for him. We saw a little bit of everything from Shedeur out there. We saw him escaping from the pocket. That's not something we saw a lot of at Colorado. The throw, backed up in his own end zone. He throws a dart right there. And then obviously the 2 touchdowns, one layered throw, and then the one where you saw the guy bringing the pressure. He was able to make a step to the side and throw an absolute dart in the end zone. We saw everything from Shedeur Sanders. Now, are there things he needs to work on? Absolutely. But I think what he did was he planted a seed in head coach Kevin Stefanski's head about, maybe we need to put a little bit more on this young man's plate here.
Yeah, he's a rookie, but he performed certainly under pressure. Kevin Stefanski was asked earlier today about his quarterback plan moving forward, and here is what he said.
I'm not going to get into reps, Mary Kay, other than to say we're going to continue to mix these guys, and also say I'm trying to be we are trying to be very intentional about our quarterback's development, and I'm really pleased with where both our young guys are. They're all working very hard. They're all taking coaching and understanding that this is a progression for them.
All right, D. Wood, how do you think Stefanski should handle this quarterback situation moving forward?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that those other 2 quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel and the other quarterback, they all of a sudden they got healthy. Kenny Pickett. They got real healthy, quick, fast, and hurt, and got back out there, because when you have a guy in Shedeur Sanders that played as well as he did, now all of a sudden the competition is taken to another level. And I think he did earn the right to have more reps with the 2s and possibly with the 1s here. And that's all you could ask for Shedeur in this situation, is that take advantage of the opportunity. He was presented with a unique opportunity, a few days ago, of basically playing the whole game. He played the majority of the snaps, and he really acquitted himself very well. And
no shade to Joe Flacco, of course, but he is 40 years old, so if there is an opportunity for him, he's definitely taking advantage of it. Okay, what other rookies impressed you this weekend?
I thought Jackson Dart, really impressed me out there. We know that this kid is uber athletic. He got a big arm, but he showed a lot of the progression that you need to see at the quarterback position. You see the throw right here in the middle of the field, stepping up in the pocket, and you see a guy bearing down on him and throwing an absolute dime for a touchdown right there. Those are the type of things that you want to see. And then here's the athleticism, the legs that he showed at Ole Miss. So we got a lot of things that from Jackson Dart that we saw on his tape from Ole Miss. And again, He has another guy got to clean some things up, but overall, you have to be thoroughly impressed with a guy like Jackson Dart in his first preseason performance.
Okay, really quickly, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole this weekend and I watched Jackson Dart picking out apartments in New York City. New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago are 3 major cities. What do you think the 4th one is?
What, San Francisco?
I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion.
I think San Francisco.
I say Miami.
You say Miami?
San Francisco. California can't have 2 of them.
Hey, listen, you see these iPhones and all this tech that we have? Where did it come from?
San Francisco.
There you go.
Okay, we'll let you have that one. Okay. Now, thanks, D. Wood. Yeah. Now let's take a look at our weekend.
Quarterback has yet to play or practice during camp with a back injury, but over the weekend, head coach Sean McVay said that he would participate in individual drills today, and instead, he was spotted in street clothes when the team took the field. McVay explaining why.
Ultimately, what ended up happening, had a great workout, felt good, but then come in today and it doesn't feel great. And so didn't think that was the right decision to be able to push him. We've kind of always talked about flexibility, being fluid with some of the plans. And I think more than anything, I feel for a guy that, I really care about, that wants to be out there more than anything else. We're going to be smart, but he didn't feel good enough, and we didn't think it was the right thing to do based on, how he woke up feeling today.
Look who's here live and in the flesh, our NFL insider, Adam Schefter, who has more. Hello. They've downplayed this injury at every turn, but talk to us about what you're hearing on the timetable.
Well, I think there's some natural concern just because Matthew Stafford's 37.
Right.
He's had a achy back in the past. He has a disc issue now. But having been in that Rams facility last week, they are not concerned. And I know today didn't go exactly as they planned, but if the Rams had a game tonight, Matthew Stafford, I believe, would have been playing. And so they're just trying to exercise extreme caution with a 37-year-old veteran quarterback who they feel doesn't need the snaps. And they feel like when he needs to be ready, he'll be ready. He'll be out there. He just is not practicing yet. It's August, not September.
Exactly. So maybe not a ton of concern for the Rams, but potentially a lot of concern coming out of Philadelphia. This was the biggest story over the weekend, and a developing story at that. Eagles Pro Bowl guard Landon Dickerson suffered a right knee injury during the team's practice last night. He was helped off the field, carted off. Last season, he helped pave the way for Saquon Barkley, who, including the playoffs, rushed for a record-breaking 2,500 yards. Shefty, I've been following your Twitter. What is the latest on Dickerson?
He had an MRI that showed a meniscus issue. He went for a second opinion, and they decided to essentially trim his meniscus, which will sideline him, I would say, multiple weeks. They're going to say he's week to week right now. He's going to have a chance to play in the regular season opener 3 weeks from Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys. But when he left the field Sunday night, and he could barely put weight on his knee, and he had to be helped off by his teammates, and he was carted to the locker room, it looked like they could conceivably be without their 3-time Pro Bowl guard for the foreseeable future. In fact, there probably was an option here where he could repair the entire meniscus and miss the entire season. He's opting for the lesser surgery, one that could have him back at the start of the season. So I think this was a best case scenario for the Philadelphia